Is it the death of the cold call? Is cold calling over? If the word cold calling is even new to you, which it might be, it means basically you get a list. Well, in the olden days, it was you get a list of people and you'd actually ring up and you'd find out if they need what you have. And now it would be you've got some more research that you can do, but basically you're ringing somebody that doesn't expect your call and you are hoping that they happen to need you at that particular time and they happen to go for that pain point and thank goodness you've called. Now, I'm telling you now, sometimes that works. It really does. Sometimes your call is like, you know what? That is actually the pain point we're having right now. Thank you for calling. But you've got to work out in your industry, in your business, how many calls it takes to have that call. On the same note as that, if the amount of calls it takes for one of your reps to make the call to get through, you've got to work out the mindset of that rep. In other words, if they've just had, 35 knockbacks, of which some may not be that polite, how are they when they get through to somebody? In other words, are they projecting? They're expecting a no. And you might hear things like, sorry to take up your time. I know it's busy for you, or I'll be quick. I get that all the time. I'll be quick. I know that you're busy. It's like, well, who says I was busy? And why are you being quick? Don't you value what you have to help me? I would say in general, marketing has flipped with sales when it comes to getting new business. And what I mean by that is statistics are just out that a client will look at your website up to 12 times before they call you and contact you. That means that they are coming in 80% sold into your business. You have to ask yourself, are your best people picking up the phone? Or do you still think about customer service and inside sales as the stepping stone to a real salesperson? Do you have the most junior rep there taking that call, influencing, guiding and persuading that client? Or do you have the most experienced person answering the phone and understanding them? Because that's where your thought and focus needs to be. If that's right for your industry, if you've got live chat and forms and people ringing you, then you need to have the very best people because they are what? The directors of first impressions. They're the ones that clients thinking I'll probably ring 3 or 4 places up. This is one of the places I want to call company A, your company A. The way your person answers the phone, how they handle it, their intent to help and to serve, the way they ask questions, the way they're investigative, the way they can land a compelling message with clarity, they should be your best people. And if they're not your best people, they need to be extremely skilled so that your best people take over the next bit and they're able to transfer over to somebody else, a ready sold client that says yes to you and then you transfer them over. So why is it the death? The death is because most people now are calling in. If that's not the case for you, if you say, actually, no, not in our industry, we could make 10 phone calls and 3 could get through, then let's talk about that slightly differently. What your team may need to do is if they're selling business to business, be really skilled at using other forums to do their research. We call it due diligence or preparation. In other words, you're about to ring up company A. What can you do beforehand? You can look up their website. You could look at LinkedIn. You can look at the individual on LinkedIn, all the decision makers on LinkedIn. You could look up the company profile on LinkedIn. You could see what are they posting about? What are they following? What's topical for them right now? Where can I be of service? Where can I bring value? That's all your team need to think about is where can I bring value? And then before they make a cold call, that isn't even a cold call now. No, it's lukewarm. It's hot. Let's face it, it's almost burning, right? Before they make that call, they need to be pumped up to the eyeballs on certainty about their business. So I suggest when anybody's business growth hunter mentality to look at case studies that morning, pump yourself up with, we helped so-and-so 2 weeks ago, or yesterday this call came in, somebody thanked us. And basically remember that you're with the client, you're looking at the pain points the client has, and then you have this solution over here. How can it help you? You are not, I'm selling at you. I'm going to persuade you and talking you. Show up and throw up to this client. You are collaborating and partnering, getting that person talking, both of you looking at the issue they've got and then seeing if your solution will serve them. So if your team are still using cold calls, I would personally change that to warm calls. If they're able to look up the client and actually reach out, then that's a really warm call. Make sure that their intent is, my goodness, I've got complete evidence here. I have total certainty about what I'm selling. That's really, really key. And then before they do that call, maybe do what we call a stepping stone, which means you reach out on LinkedIn. You send a message, comment on what they're posting on. You are understanding how you can bring value. You're not bombarding with URLs because that will look like spam. Maybe you send an email out. which has on there where you think you can help. But again, you've got to keep it under 2 bullet points, really, like a couple of things only. Look at your signature, look at the review you may put on. Does it all align with that client to say it can be of service? So what you may put together is what we call a stepping stone strategy, which means on a Monday, you decide who you're going to call on the Thursday, and then you send out Monday maybe 300 personalized emails. That's right, let's get going. Bang, bang, 8 o'clock, off we go. And each email has something really personal to that person. You may agonize for 2 hours to perfect that email so that you can then tailor it for each individual. But what does the signature say? That's real estate. What does the review say? Does it help that client with notes you may have that client before, or things they're posting about? Like, have you added a review of evidence of somebody else? What does your body of your email say? Does it say, I've noticed on LinkedIn that you've done this and this. We would love to be of service to you. A couple of things below. Do you add a brochure or something? If you do, put why you've added the brochure. Turn to page 4. There's a couple of reviews there that I thought might be of service to you, or a couple of pointers there and some Q&As that, looking at your current LinkedIn posts, may be of service to you. Your team, or if it's you, need to get into a rhythm of knowing, how can I pre-sell the person before I make that call? That's right. How can I email them? Do something on LinkedIn, comment on LinkedIn. It could be a 1 week or 2 week strategy before I pick up the phone, so that hopefully they have seen some of that, which means what? They know my name, they know where I work, they know exactly what value that you can bring to them, and they are already expecting your call. And of course, when you make that call, you're pumped up to the eyeballs on your value and worth, and you don't say, is now a good time, or is it right to call you, or I can tell you're busy, which are all completely subservient. And you do not say, did you get my email? Because they have either say, oh yes, sorry, I've done nothing about it, which means they feel awkward, or they'll say, oh, yes, I did. Yeah, I didn't give you a call back. Or they'll say, oh, no, I didn't. All of which are bad. You just go, hi, Jonathan. I've been following you on LinkedIn. My name is, and I work for so-and-so. We do this. I can see that you do X, Y, and Z. I thought I'd ring out because I think at some point in the future we could be of service, be it in the next few weeks or in a couple of years' time. I thought I'd let you know that we are here. So your team need to be very polished on what that opening pitch is going to be, and then very comfortable being silent while that person talks back. But the reason we talk a lot about mindset is because if they think they're interfering with somebody, that they're taking up their time, they're going to go in completely subservient to that call, and they're not going to get anywhere. So death of the cold call? I think for a lot of companies, yes, it is. I think we need to shift our focus to the people that are taking the inbound inquiries. But is there a place? I think for most companies there are, because it means if you know your top 15 clients or 200 clients, you could have a strategy to be ahead of them and pre-sell before they need what you have.